Hey, hello. Oh, goodness. Why did my Oh, well, I thought it was my mic. But anyways,
Wrong
this is what
start.
happens when you
Wrong
have a show
start.
on Monday, right? Hey guys,
Wrong start to the
special
week.
edition Monday show. Welcome to Girl Chat Sports. Mo is not here, but I am, and I have a special guest host, Brian Aleman. Brian, what's up?
How's it going?
Thank you for joining me. We're having a great guest today. In a couple minutes, we'll have her join on. But I needed a little backup into the soccer, football knowledge and experience. And so, I know you be having these watch parties and supporting Team USA soccer. So I wanted to kind of get you on. Give us a quick rundown about you and the American Outlaws.
Yeah, so I'm the president of the American Outlaws here in Las Vegas. We have chapters all over the world, actually, Mexico, England. I believe we just had one in Australia open up and stuff like that. But we're just a group of people that support all the U.S. national teams, whether it be women, men's, even the kids teams coming up during their big national tournaments and stuff like now. The U.S. is playing down in Mexico in the Revelations Cup against Peru, Mexico, and some other teams down there. So yeah, that's all we do. We just get together. We're ramping up because we got the World Cup coming up soon, which kind of ties into everything, obviously, with Ana coming in. So yeah, thanks for
Yes.
having me.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So we've briefly met here and there, and I'm
Yeah,
excited to hopefully get to a watch party to watch one of the upcoming games for sure when World Cup comes. I know I definitely want to come represent. Of course, we do have our local soccer team here. So the
the
Las Vegas
lights.
Lights. They will be playing tomorrow, which I haven't gone to a game all season. Mo already beat me to it, so I'm headed tomorrow. They also have the infamous $5,000 cash drop on Saturday. I believe there's only like 3 or 4 home games left in the season. So if you're out there, if you're in Las Vegas, you want to see some soccer and live, make sure to make it down to Cashman Field. It's quite the experience, we'll say. They got pools, you got cars on
That's
the
one way of putting
pitch.
it.
I mean, you got
They
a
got
lot of
mattresses out there
things.
now, apparently.
That was I was
Yeah,
the
you
whole time
could
I'm
you
just
could
thinking, are they new mattresses? Do they share them? I don't know. It was a lot. It was a
yo
lot for me
listen.
to
If
think
they
about.
put me on a if they're putting me on a Tempur-Pedic to watch the game, I am down with that. I'm
You're
okay with
down?
that.
I love it. I
With a
love it. You love
Tempur-Pedic,
it. I
that's
love
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Wonderful. Hey, well, let's get our guest on and have her talk to us about what's coming up with the World Cup and obviously give us some major stuff, what's happening with her and her life. And come on, girl power, women in sports. Let's go. Please,
Let's do it.
please welcome Ana Jurka. Anna, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super excited. Please, this is Brian. He's one of our local presidents for our USA Soccer American Outlaws.
Go USA!
Let's go, USA. Let's
Inclusive
go.
with trust.
Yeah, it
Yes.
starts tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I'm excited. Counting the days to the World Cup. I cannot wait for November 20th.
Man, I cannot believe that it's already. I've told friends before because I'm not the expertise in soccer or football like you two might be, or for sure you and I know. It's just so I had to have some backup. So I brought Brian on because I know he's big into the soccer and big into the soccer world. And for me, I always feel like a soccer, it's like kind of like hockey almost, where it doesn't seem to ever end. It just seems like there's always a cup, there's always a competition, there's always an inner, just always a match happening, and I never
Yes.
know exactly where I'm at. But now we're coming down to the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, and this is an amazing experience. Now, before we get into all that, I wanted for you just to explain to some of our viewers kind of who you are, how you got started in sports, and let us know if that's, is sports always been a passion? Like, did you grow up in the sports and playing, or kind of tell us your story?
No, actually, I got into sports by accidents. Like I obviously I always loved soccer because football for us it's everything. Okay, we eat, we sleep, we drink, we do everything around soccer. I mean, I'm from
Catarachos.
a small country. I'm from Honduras originally. I was born there and raised there, and for us it's all we have. Like all the other sports are like they have almost no support at all. So you grow up watching soccer and living everything around it, and it's the only thing that really unites the country. So I loved soccer since I can remember. I was around it, but I was when I was a kid, I just wanted to be on TV because I wanted to just entertain people. I always said, hey, I want to entertain people, because when I used to be a kid and I was watching TV, I would forget about everything that was going on in my house or school, whatever, I would forget everything. So it was my escape. So I remember one day I said, this is what I want to do. That whatever they are doing, they make me escape. So I want to do that when I grow up. And that's how I knew that I wanted to be on TV. Then I started in entertainment in my country, and when I moved to the States, it's when I started doing sports, because I was working at a local station in Orlando, in Telemundo Orlando, and I was doing news, but kind of like hard news, and I didn't like it at all. Because news, you have to be from downtown, blah,
Yeah.
blah, the mayor said blah blah blah. I was like, not my personality at all. So one time, the guy who used to do the sports segment in the newscast, he had an opportunity to go to a bigger station, and whenever he left, they said, hey, why don't we try Ana? She's always talking about sports. So let's just give her a try. And they gave me the opportunity. I grabbed it, and less than a year later, the network called me, and it's gonna be
Wow.
9 years in the network, 10 years in total. So no, it was literally
Wow.
accidents. I sucked at first. You would laugh at me. You would laugh, because obviously I knew soccer. Soccer was my life, but I wasn't really into baseball. And I was in Orlando,
Sure.
all the Boricua
Big,
want
yes.
baseball.
Dominicans,
So
Cubans, everybody in Florida, yes.
exactly. So I was like, this is not my comfort zone. but hey, it worked out. Here I am.
That is great. One thing I wanted to ask, just being a female in media, female in sports media, because it is kind of a male dominated society still. I know you started back in like 2004, 2007, coming to Orlando in the US in 2012. But what's been like how have you been able to succeed in this male dominated world? And what do you think has been like your biggest hardship coming out of it?
The biggest part to come and live here and work here, I think at the beginning it was the language, because I mean, I could say a few things in English, but it wasn't my language. So at the beginning, when I moved, it was literally the language. When it comes to work, I would say right now we're living a great moment for women in sports. Like we're supporting each other, like, hey, let's bring this girl in to the podcast so we can support each other. We're living a great moment. But 10 years ago, it was still rough, So at the beginning, I think it was, I feel like I had to do a lot of extra work to be respected, like it's let's say if I had the same assignment with another guy, they would immediately think that he would be doing that better than me just because he was a man. So I would have to, like, even if it was just like a 30-second intro, I would have to like kill it every freaking second. And when I got the job in Telemundo, I was doing a 1 minute segment in the half times of the Premier League games. It was 1 minute, sometimes 1:10. So it's hard to impress someone, in a 1 minute. And I remember I used to see that my colleagues, they would just, let's go with Ana, and they would be talking and not paying attention at all to what I was doing, like if I made end or whatever, they wouldn't be able to respond because they weren't even paying attention to me. And I felt at the beginning that would bring me down a lot, but then it started to change. Like I started to kind of like, hey, I'm gonna kill it this time, I'm gonna kill it, I'm gonna kill it. And every time they started giving me more seconds, and I grew, and thank God. It was hard, but I gained their respect, and now I'm next to them.
And now you're killing it, and everybody seems to love
Thank you.
you. And you know, the social media you have, you can follow Anna on all social media at Ana Jurka. It's just, I mean, some of your photos, your pictures, your videos, you guys are very lively. You're having a lot of good times. How
Yes.
important is it for you to have those relationships with the people that you work with, just to make it fun?
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. You know, like I used to feel that disconnection, you know, for what I was telling you just now. I used to feel like I wasn't part of the group, and that's hard when you're trying to, you know, fit in, and you want to impress them, and you know that they are years ahead of you, but you still want to be part of it, you know? You want to feel I don't know how to explain it. Like, they can allow me to be in. So whenever that wasn't happening, it was hard for me. Like I remember I would be like with my notes, and I would be, oh yeah, so what do you think about anything? And they wouldn't even respond to that, what I was asking. Sometimes, like, some of them, there used to be, I don't know if I can say the word, but they were
Go ahead.
they used to be assholes with me. They used to,
I bet.
but yeah, they were. And they say now, like after so many years working together, it started to change exactly for the World Cup in Russia in 2018. That's when I saw like a shift, completely shift
Love it.
with them. It's not that they disrespected me before, because they didn't. They were always, they've been they're gentlemen, you know. But it was just, I wasn't just part of them, you know. I wasn't
Sure.
part of the group. But that changed in 2018. I remember Andres Cantor. He's, you know him. He's a legend. And I remember him,
Legend.
like, being like, hey Anna, why are you so serious, and you're always happy, what is it? And I'm like, oh no, I'm just tired. And he goes, no, you're not tired, you're Anna, you're always happy. You're our female face here. You have to be happy. It's a World Cup. No, you're not hungry, you're not cold, you're not hot, you're not sleeping, you're not tired. It's the freaking World Cup. And I remember like that like lift me, and I was like, wow, that was really nice of him to just like, he came
That's
and
great.
gave me this pep talk, you know, and it helped me a lot. And I remember during that World Cup, it changed. It's like something in everything, you know, like it switched. That's why the World Cup is so special to me too. So I don't even know
That's
what
amazing.
I was talking now.
That's okay.
I went back to Russia.
you just flew off for a sec. It's okay. You're
Yeah.
good. You're good. One last question before we get into FIFA, because I know that's kind of what we're really here to talk about. And I wanted you to talk about is my last question, just because we are a women's based show. We love to talk and to support women. What would be some of your tips or advice for young girls out there who are trying, whether internationally, whatever country they're currently in? What would be some advice from you on trying to get into something like journalism or on sports or on TV?
Stay focused. Don't lose track. You know, like it's like keep doing what you're doing. Keep trying to be the best every single day. When you think no one is watching, there's always someone watching. And sometimes when you feel like you're not part of the group, that you don't fit in, that, oh my gosh, they're not even paying attention to me, it doesn't matter, because the people that are watching the show, they are watching you.
Yes.
So you have to
Yes.
forget about whoever is next to you, and just keep track of what you're doing. Keep focused and set priorities. Your priority is always what you're doing, your assignment, and the people who the one who's watching you, not the ones who are next to you. You have to respect them and listen to them and everything, but your main focus has to be your job and your audience. That's my
I love
advice.
it. Cut. We'll take that clip right there. That was great. That was great.
Share it on social media.
Right. Share it on social media. All right. So let's get into it. We've got the official FIFA World Cup Qatar coming in 2022, starting in November 20th, all the way to December, was it 18th? I think it is, or 13th?
18th. Yep.
18th. Yes.
For November 20th till December 18th.
And I had to share this too, because I know from what I hear from Brian
that Panini card.
the Panini cards are pretty major, it sounds like. And hey, you got your own, so it's good to go. I know your home country's team is not there, but you'll be supporting and representing, you said. So amazing for that.
Yes. Brian, do you have your Panini album already and you're collecting?
I don't have mine for this year, but I have mine from Russia. I have mine from Brazil. I travel a lot for work, so I've just been busy, but it'll happen.
No,
I got a couple of months.
Yes, you have to. Yeah, you have to get it, and then
get on it, Brian.
You too, Mel. You too. You have to get it, and then we can trade the ones that we are.
I gotta look into it. I definitely gotta look into it for sure, for sure. But let's get into the FIFA Cup. So, well, first of all, how excited are for you to go to Qatar? I mean, have you been to, an Arab country before? Are you excited for Qatar? Like, what are you expecting with you and your Telemundo team there?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. We went for the World Cup draw the beginning of the year, and it was really, really cool. It was like watching Vegas on steroids. Like, they have so much money, and like the city's just, it's literally is like a city in the middle of nowhere, but you see all the buildings and everything's so pretty, and it's like watching Vegas on steroids, and
wow.
So yeah, I went there and I had a great time. So yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be super cool in November when everyone is there.
I can't imagine. Brian, do you have anything specific for the Qatar FIFA World Cup champions? I just wanted to ask real quick, is there someone that we should be keeping our eye on as an underdog that you're looking out for? I mean, we're in Vegas. We're in Vegas, so we're a betting city. If we were to put some money down on an underdog, like, who is the best payout option?
I don't know.
Yes, Team USA.
I don't know. Let's go. I actually like Costa Rica this year. They're, this is the last time that they're gonna have Keylor Navas, who's like, he is so underrated as a goalkeeper. Everybody likes to talk about Ter Stegen. Everybody likes to talk about Thibaut Courtois and all these guys, not realizing that without Keylor Navas, Real Madrid doesn't have like 3 or 4 of these Champions League trophies that they have. He carried a lot of that when they were defensively lacking and stuff. So this is his last one, I think. They have a lot of underrated guys that are not getting a lot of attention, which for the World Cup, considering the timing of everything, in my opinion, this is the first time we're ever going to see a World Cup in the middle of a European season.
Yes.
So they've actually stopped everything. So these players are going to be relatively in good form and shape, as opposed to being tired at the end of the season and then going into the World Cup. So it's going to be fresh legs. So I think this is going to be the hardest World Cup and probably the most physically exhausting one, because they're going to be playing lights out with no remorse, because if they go back, they're going to go back to their clubs a week later, and then the season starts again. So it's going to be, I think Costa Rica for me is a big one. And they just beat Norway. Norway's looking really good too. And those are my 2 like dark horses. But as a believer, I would love to see the U.S. win.
I have to say that I thought you guys were going to think that I was crazy for saying an underdog, the U.S. But since you mentioned Costa Rica, you're crazier than me. So I'm gonna say
I am crazy.
Team USA. I know there's always, how they say, oh, who's our number 9? Is Ricardo Pepi our number 9? Who is it? There's always doubts with every freaking team. I think the only two or 3 teams that they say, oh, we're good, is Brazil, Germany, and I don't know, Argentina. Not even France, the actual champions right now. every freaking team has their doubts, whether it's in front, in the middle, in defense, whatever. So I want to say my underdog, I wanted to be Team USA. There's this young team like Greg Berhalter, the manager. Like, we would never think, whenever they said, "Oh, Greg Berhalter is the new coach," we were like, "What? Really? We're the U.S. We should have, like, like a kind of like a Zidane, a Pep Guardiola kind. We're the U.S." And whenever they said Greg Berhalter, nobody believed in him. Like, a few believed in him, and then he got them to the World Cup again. They did a good the good qualifiers, and I love the team. It's a young team. What, 22, 23 is the
I
approximate.
think they have the youngest age average of any team
Yeah,
going
it's like
into the World
20
Cup. It's like,
years
Wow.
old,
yeah, so like the
and they have
26, 27 or something like that.
a good balance. They have good guys in front, they have good guys in the middle, they have good guys in defense. They not only they are on clubs, and European clubs, they actually play for those clubs. You know how we always say, like, Mexico, oh yeah, they're all in Europe. No, they're not. They are, but they're in the bench. And the US has players actually playing, like they have
Wow.
Right.
time.
Young
So I
talent.
think that if I have to choose one from CONCACAF, I mean, obviously Canada is really, really good. But if I have to choose a team from CONCACAF to be the ultimate underdog, it would definitely be the US. Obviously, my
All
Mexican
right.
friends are going to be mad at me, but I want to believe in this team.
That's
Yeah, I
great.
don't think Mexico's going to be as good this year
Oh, I
in the
think
World
they
Cup. I think
I
they're going to have their chance. Like, I think that Argentina game is going to be the real test. If
Mel,
they can
you're
get
gonna have
past
us
Argentina or
like
even tie.
you're gonna
I
have
love it.
Sorry.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. We'll just
you're
keep
gonna
it PG-13, keep it PG-13, but we
yeah, 'cause
love having great debates. So, I
yeah, because
mean,
one thing I love about Mexico is that whoever is in front of them, they go for it. It's like
100%.
nobody
Yeah.
believed they were going to beat Germany and Russia, and they
right.
did. Like, in Mexico, whenever they have these big games and nobody believes in them, they go for it, and they surprise everyone. So I think they're gonna
Do you
do
think
good
Tata
too.
brings Carlos Vela or Chicharito though? Does he
No,
do it?
no, 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 no.
No, it's a
Chicharito's
wrap,
out of
right?
the. No, no, no. I don't
Yeah,
think so. No, no, no. It's like all those inside
yeah,
things in the federation that we don't understand it, but they have good players too. A lot of them, they have question marks because they don't have a lot of play time. I mean, Raúl Jiménez is not even the
it's
same
not been
since
the same.
he broke his head, literally.
Wow.
Yeah,
So they have a lot of doubts, but like I said before, who doesn't? Like, even
right.
France. If you saw France this weekend in the Nations League, you say, wait a minute, Denmark is a great team, but it's not better than France. They shouldn't lost that way against Denmark. So every
Right.
team has their their question marks.
Wow. I did want to put up, these are the groups that'll be in
That's what I
the
meant to
World
say. I
Cup.
meant to say Denmark. Sorry, I didn't mean to say
That's
Norway. I meant to say
okay.
Denmark.
That's okay. So this is the groups that we'll be pulling from, apparently. So we got 32 teams. They dwindle it down to 16. So the top 2 from each group, and then it's kind of like a knockout tournament. So you got
Yes.
quarterfinals,
Yep.
semifinals, and then the ultimate final at the end. So it is
Yes.
going to be interesting. Is there now it's just the lottery. So the lottery just picks them and puts them into groups, or is there certain reasons for the groups? Is that
Yes. Like, you cannot have, let's say, 2 teams from the same confederations. That's why you have, let's say, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and what was the other one? The first group,
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Yeah.
Got you.
Yes.
Yeah, the only
Europe.
one is the only one's UEFA, right? After a certain
Europe.
amount
It's
of
Europe are the
because
only
there's so
ones that
many of them that
have to.
qualify.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
they have a lot of teams, so they're the only ones that can have the 2 in one group. Man,
Wow.
those groups are beautiful. There's freaking good games in every group.
Man, it's going to be one thing else. Like before we ask a couple more questions, Brian, I wanted to share the 8 stadiums that the games will be played in. Now, just for everybody out there, because I had to look into this a little bit, 6 of these stadiums weren't even existent in 2010 when Qatar got the bid to host the World Cup. So they built 6 stadiums in a matter of what, under 10, like 10, 12 years. Yeah, ridiculous.
They started building these like 4 years ago.
Unbelievable. Now the final one, the final game will be played at the Lusail Stadium. They hold 80,000 people comfortably. They said they could even put in more. Then there's also the Stadium 974, the bottom on the right. This was built entirely out of shipping containers and modular steel, which is insane. I mean, some of these stadiums, I would go there just to go to see every stadium. And they're all about 40 or 50 miles away from the city capital. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait just to watch, to see all these I love going to stadiums, even as like an American football fan. Like I want to see a new stadium every year. So getting a chance to see some of the sights and the sounds from inside these ones, I think is going to be phenomenal.
They're beautiful. I had the opportunity to go to the 974 stadium.
Oh, you did?
After the World Cup, that's gonna be destroyed. Like that's what
only like 4 of them are gonna be staying behind. I think 3 or 4 of them are staying behind.
It's
How could you do that?
It's like it's crazy. They have so much money. As soon as the World Cup is over, we don't need the stadium anymore. Let's dump it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I think there's only 3 stadiums that they're going to retain, which is going to be Lusail, Khalifa, and Education City. Yes. And all the other ones, I believe, are going to get repurposed. One of them, which is 974, they're talking about actually uprooting it and transporting it somewhere else so they can build a stadium somewhere else. And it's
Can you imagine seeing things like helicopters flying around with like portions of a stadium?
Just a whole bunch of shipping containers.
Yeah.
Like, are they?
And it's crazy because they have AC in the stadiums. Like you feel the actual air conditioning, and you're like, wow. But it's crazy. They love to build, because I was there for just a week, but everywhere I went, they were building something, and I'm like, man, they're just building and building and building, and the architecture, it's beautiful. It's beautiful in Doha.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to doing while you're there? Maybe if you have any, I don't know if you have off time. I don't know if you've looked into some things that you want to see or do, but is there something that you've been looking forward to when you go?
Eat a lot of food. I told my stylist, the person who's going to help me with my wardrobe, I told her, hey, I'm a size 4. But bring 6.
Just in case.
No,
just in case.
I think I'm gonna have time the first week, because we get there a week before the World Cup. So that week before, I think I'm gonna have time to at least have dinner as a decent person. So I'm gonna eat a lot during that first week.
Wonderful.
Once the World Cup starts, our hours are long. Our days are extremely long. Sometimes I remember in Russia, my day would start at I think 10:30, and I would be done by, I don't know, 1:30, 2 in the morning sometimes during the group stage. Then when you get to the knockout rounds, then you get a little bit of a free time, but you're so tired and you're going, and you have to be taking notes of everything that you don't get a lot of rest time. You have to focus that it's the World Cup, and you have to remember that you're there for a job, and once it's done, you can go and have drinks and whatever. We're gonna have I think 4 days off during the whole time. Whenever the players have the rest days between the round of 16 to the round of the quarterfinals. I'm sorry, the door keep opening and closing the doors. That's when we have kind of like a free time. It's never a complete rest day because we always have to do other things. And I do an entertainment show as well here in Telemundo during the week. So during that time, on those rest days, I'm gonna be doing that
Are we doing
show. So yeah.
that?
So trust me, I'm gonna be eating a lot the first week, and then I'm gonna be ordering a lot of food.
That's great. Brian, what else? You got anything else?
Yeah, so we were talking about some of the teams that were playing over the weekend, and with the Nations League and UEFA. What do you take away from those games versus because those are actual competitive matches that matter, right? Versus like what the U.S. is playing tomorrow morning or what they've been playing, right? These friendlies. Do you think that these friendlies are going to carry less weight or more weight than, say, for those teams that are not playing competitive matches versus like these UEFA teams? Because we just had Germany was beating England 2-0,
Yeah.
and England came back 3-2, and then Germany tied it right just a few minutes ago. Uh, do you think these are good matches that they're, or is it just
I
kind of,
I
you know
think
what I mean? Like, is it going to
every
matter as
single game.
much when it comes?
Yeah, I think every single game before the World Cup, if it's a fecha FIFA, no matter how bad the game is, it's important because there's all these players. They want to be
They want their
looked
spot.
by their manager. You know, they all want that call to the World Cup, so they're there and trying to show off, like, hey, look at me, coach, please take me to the World Cup. So I think they are all important. But I mean, friendlies versus Nations League, how important is the Nations League for those players? Like we always, I don't know in the US, I mean, I'm in the US, but what I mean is, I don't know how important it is for Americans the Nations League as it is for Hispanics. For us, it's just come on, man. The Nations League, really? What do you win with that?
Yeah,
You
a,
know?
a
So
Mickey
it's
Mouse
kind of like
trophy or whatever they call it.
exactly. It's not like the Euros, or
Yeah,
it's not like Champions
the
League with
Gold Cup.
the clubs
Yeah,
are
Champions
really,
League.
competitive. The Nations League, I feel like, I don't know. I don't even. Who do you win? What do you win? I'm sorry. What do you win with the Nations League? Like
A
it's
trophy.
so it's kind of like so
Is there
it's
bragging
like
rights for that? Like, I don't know. Is that
yeah,
nothing to
it's just
brag
like,
about?
I mean, so that's why I'm saying, like, before the World Cup, every single game it's important. But if you see, if you notice, like every single game, every single team had question marks. France, oh my gosh, they lost. How did they lose? Blah blah blah. England, they have a lot of question marks. The US, they have a lot of question marks. Mexico, they have a lot of question marks. I mean, Argentina played against Honduras. Come on,
Yeah,
Honduras. And I love my country, but they suck. This time, they were really bad. They didn't qualify. They were the
Yeah.
worst team in the CONCACAF. So, really, Argentina, Honduras, that's your friendly, so I mean, it's like you're gonna have doubts from every single country.
Wow.
Honduras is going to make it in 4 years, though.
Oh yeah, they're better. If not, they
Yeah.
can start running and go for another sport. Because I mean, in 2026, remember this, Qatar is gonna be the last World Cup with 32 teams. In 26, we're gonna
Yep.
have 48. I mean,
48.
if you don't
Wow.
qualify for that, you really shouldn't be doing this. Good.
Yeah, my parents are
48.
excited to see El Salvador be in the World Cup too. So
Yeah,
hopefully
it's
they'll happen in
coming
their
home.
lifetime.
The World
It's
Cup is
coming
coming
home.
home. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So before we let you go, there's a couple, well, one question in particular, because when I travel, I know that I have certain must-haves that have to come with me
Uh-huh.
because I am a little bit of a picky eater. I do like to experience some of the local stuff, but is there anything in particular, whether food or snacks or beauty items or must-have apparel that you always pack with you when you're traveling, especially out of the country?
When it comes to food, no, nothing. What I
Okay.
do though is that I bring um tea, like chamomile tea. Because if I don't know, whenever I have an upset stomach, the chamomile tea, it helps me.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good.
but I'm picky with my hotels, like the bed or the pillow. So if
Okay.
I have kind of like the hotels that I know that I won't have a problem. But if I don't go to a hotel from those chains, then
Uh-huh.
I bring up one of my pillows. I bring a pillow. And then something that I can't my coworkers laugh at me because I bring like a pharmacy with me, like in case of diarrhea, in case of uh, a cold, in case of whatever, everything. And they laugh at me and like they go, Anna, you know that they have pharmacies there. And I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
bro, but I'm gonna be working all freaking day. And you know what?
And
yeah.
Those that made the most fun of me
came to
during
you.
during Russia, they're like, oh, I cannot say the name because it's a legend. But one of those legends had diarrhea, and I had something for him. So
That's funny.
yeah, I bring my whole kit, and they always
I
like,
have a similar
oh,
thing.
yeah,
That's
Anna,
great.
do you have something
That's
for
funny.
this or something for that? And I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah.
Well,
And there
that's
you go.
funny.
And now they're coming to you. They know where to go. It's Anna's one-stop shop.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you can, but since you are, do you have a favorite to win it all?
My favorite, Brazil. Not only because
Okay.
I mean they're the biggest winners. No, historically they're the champ of the champs. But I think their qualifying campaign, they were just like ruthless.
Ridiculous.
I mean, they
Yeah.
qualified, if I'm not mistaken, they qualified 4 or 5 dates before the end of the qualifiers. And on those last 4 games, they were winning 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. And I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
man. You already qualified.
And they were
You're there.
relentless. They
Take
were
it
very
easy.
relentless.
You were there. They were crazy. And you know what? There's one thing that I love about Brazilians. They're like a family. That's what's scary. Because you won't see whatever, let's say Mbappe in France. Mbappe, if he thinks that he can take the shot, even if the next one of his teammates is closer and have more chance
Benzema to the
to,
right.
he
Yeah.
will not give the ball. He's a ball hogger. He's gonna try to score. When you watch the Brazilians, they don't do that. They're like, wait a minute, I have the ball, but that one is in better position, so they share. So that to me, that's what's scary about them. They're
That's
always like
teamwork.
a family, and they have so much fun. They're always having fun. They're always joking around and dancing and blah blah blah. And can you imagine this time the World Cup is so different than the one before? Because in Russia is the biggest country in the world. Now they're gonna be in this thing, like in
Small.
this teeny tiny thing. Qatar is so tiny. I mean, it's more
Yeah.
like an Olympics than a World Cup.
Yeah.
They
Olympic
don't have to
Village. Yeah.
travel. They don't have to travel. And Brian was saying they're gonna have fresh legs, and on top of that, they're gonna be sleeping in their same bed, eating their feijoada in the same room. Like it's gonna be really amazing. So to me, Brazil is my favorite, but obviously I like other teams. I really like Portugal, not only because of Cristiano Ronaldo, but because of they don't play for him. They're not Cristiano Ronaldo dependent. They play together and they have a great team. I mean, a lot of different great players. And of course, Argentina, not only because it's the last one for Messi, but this time he doesn't have the pressure of not winning anything for his country before. They already won the Copa America. So they have like that, like, okay, I gave you a title. Now I can go and not have that pressure. Hopefully, he's not going to be throwing up on the field, and this time he's going to get it. But my favorite is Brazil.
Wow. That's great. Well, I appreciate you. I'm excited to catch you covering the World Cup in Qatar. I know we'll be also, of course, rooting for USA. But we thank you so much for joining. If there's any message that you want to share with any of your Spanish-speaking followers or whatever, you're welcome to share that now.
Okay, just watch the World Cup. It's better in Spanish. I'm sorry, Brian. I don't know if you watch soccer in English, but I mean,
I
we
watch
are
it on
the
both.
experts.
You can't beat Andres Cantor. You can't beat that call. I mean, I'm Latino, I'm Salvadorian, so like growing up, that's all I watched. I watched it in Spanish, and I get it. You know, the English variation, it's great. There is some emotion, but there's nothing like it. There's nothing
Yeah,
like that passion that we bring out
we
when we
get
get
it.
excited. We get excited.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
it. We are the experts because we feel it like our audience feels it because we were born into it. It's part of our culture. So on November 20th, really early in the morning, you grab your cup of coffee, or if you were partying the night before, you just
Just
stay
stay
away.
up.
Stay up.
Yeah,
We
stay
are in
up.
Vegas.
Stay up. Exactly. Stay up and watch the World Cup in Spanish. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have unprecedented coverage. We're gonna be in the 8 stadiums. Never in Hispanic TV you saw that before. We're gonna be in every freaking game in the stadium, so you know that makes a huge difference. So please watch it with us in Telemundo.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you, Brian, for
Thank
joining. I
you.
appreciate you guys. We'll
Thank
definitely
you.
keep a lookout and have a successful and safe travels, and we'll see what happens.
You. Thank
All
you.
right.
Go USA. And
Yay!
then after
Go
winner,
USA.
life's over. Bye.